So a couple of things that will help us solve these triangular distributions correctly. Some steps to follow. Make sure you draw yourself up a diagram. They don't often give you one, so sketch one up in the shape of a triangle. Marking out A, the minimum, or the smallest value, B, the maximum, your largest value, and C, the most likely, or the most common. Also sometimes called the mode. And X, this is the one we're looking for. So this is the one your question is about. And then we need to decide whether we're going to use the right or the left formula. We'll put our values in and calculate the answer. And remember that this part down here is the left. This is the stuff below the mode. And this is your right. This is for stuff above the mode. Okay, let's take a look at a question. A company's revenues are projected to be most likely to be $50 million per year. Well, that's some information right there, isn't it? And most likely, 50 million, that right there tells me that we've got C equal to 50, because that's the mode most likely to happen. Current annual revenue is 10 million. The company is sure that gross revenue will not be less than 10 million. So not be less than 10 million, that means that I've got my minimum, A, is going to be equal to 10, because it cannot be less than 10 million. And it will not be greater than 90 million. Greater than, okay, well it can't be bigger than that, so I know that B must be 90. So if I sketch myself up a little diagram here, don't know exactly where to put things, but I can just do it roughly. I know that 10 is my minimum, 90 is my maximum, and 50 is my mode. So that's at the peak. And they're telling me I can use a triangular distribution, but I might have assumed it, given that they've given me a minimum, a maximum, and a mode. So find the probability that the revenue in a year will be less than $30 million. Okay, well, less than $30 million. Let's put 30 on there. Somewhere like so. 30. And I want to find all of that stuff there. So remember, there's a few steps for us. We got to make sure that we know that this is the left. This is below the mode. So we're going to use the left-hand formula up here. I know that A is equal to 10. B is equal to 90, and C is equal to 50 from the problem. And if we put that information in, careful to use your brackets when you do this in your calculator. X in this case is going to be 30, because that's what I'm asking about, below 30. So I'm going to have 30 minus 10, because that is X minus A, so 30 minus 10, all divided by B minus A is going to be 90 minus 10. And C minus A is going to be 50 minus 10. And when we put this into our calculator, you should get 1 over 80. So double check that. That might be a decimal for you, but that's okay. It's going to be the same no matter how you do it, decimal or fraction. Your decimal here would be equal to 0.0125 if you have it that way. So this is in fact our height, which again is what we get out of this part of the formula. Now you might think, woohoo, I'm done, but remember the height only tells you how tall that triangle is. We now need to find the probability, so don't forget the second step, which is actually finding the probability. So the probability is going to be equal to 1/2 times the base times the height. And that comes out of our triangle formula here. So my probability is going to be equal to 1/2 times my base. Well, what's the base between 10 and 30? Here my base is equal to 20. So if you weren't sure, we could say base is equal to 30 minus 10, the distance between those 2 points. So 1/2 times 20 times 0.0125. And when you put this into your calculator, you should get 0.125. So that's the probability of the revenue being less than $30 million, 0.125. Let's go on to the next step. Here they're asking for the probability the revenue in a year will be greater than 60 million. So again, a quick sketch can go a long way for you. Same situation, we've got 10, 50, and 90. And here, they're looking for greater than 60. So that means 60, and I'm looking for stuff above the mode this time. So since I'm looking for things above the mode for my height, I'm going to use this formula here, 2 times bracket b minus x. So again, a here is equal still to 10, b is equal to 90, c is equal to 50, and my x in this case is equal to 60. Now I'm just writing those out, so try to eliminate myself making mistakes in the formula. But 2 bracket b minus x, so 90 minus 60, all over bracket b minus a, so 90 minus 10, times b minus c. And b minus c is there, 90 minus 50. So when we put this into our calculator, you get 0.01875. And remember, we're not done yet. You need to go on to find your probability. And the probability again is 1/2 base times height. I guess putting b there might be confusing because it's not that b. So base times height. And I need to look here, what is the base? Remember, the base is just the bottom of the triangle that you're looking for. And in this case, that's between 60 and 90. So 90 minus 60 is equal to 30. So my probability will be equal to 1/2 times 30 times the height, which I got from there, 0.01875. And when we do that one up, you should get something that rounds close to 0.281. So remember, our first step is find the height here from our formula that's given to us. The second step is use the area of the triangle formula to find the actual probability. So again, find your height first, then go on to find your probability. It's really easy to forget that second step, so make sure you don't. I'm going to continue on with the next example. If you think you've got the hang of this, then feel free to get into your workbook and start on the problems, or carry on with the rest of these in your worksheet here.